Guys, it's Olga. Welcome to BA Blog. Most of us heard about the change management and impact analysis. After joining the digital consulting group, I learned the new terms: organizational change management and change strategy. Today, I want to share my findings with you. I will explain what is the organizational change management or OCM and how it differs from regular change management we typically face in delivery. So, if you're interested, welcome on board. The starting point of the change management is a change request. In simple words, the change request is a call for adjustment we receive from the client. The point is that the scale and the area of the change can be very different. As the business analysts in delivery, we typically face with the change requests which belong to a particular feature or system component. For example, the client wants to change the look and feel of the existing website, or the user experience during the checkout process, or maybe the logic of price calculation. Unlike the typical change request we face in delivery, organizational change management or OCM is more global. It is focused on transformation of entire customer ecosystem. In other words, it is not about a particular platform, capabilities, features, or interfaces. It is more about the change of entire customer operational model, their organizational structure, processes, platforms they use, and methodologies they follow. An example of organizational change management might be opening of the new distribution channels, or integrating of the new unified processes and governance across multiple business units, or moving our existing solution to the new technology stack. Now let's take a look at the change management process itself. Typically it looks as follows. Step 1. We analyze the existing state. Step 2. We define the desired future state. Step 3. We conduct the impact analysis. Step 4. We define the optimal change strategy. Step 5. We implement and adapt the change. Step 6. We measure the results. Now let's go step by step and consider it in detail. Step 1. To analyze the existing state in delivery, we typically make a deep dive into the project knowledge base and investigate the existing system. Since the scope and the scale of the change in OCM is way broader, analysis of this state might require a separate discovery stage. The OCM team will investigate the ecosystem, analyze the company policies, regulatory requirements, and conduct the workshops to get a clear vision of the current state, identify the business needs and pain points. Step 2. To define the desired future state in delivery, we typically elicit the requirements with the stakeholders who describe the expected system behavior. In OCM, we face an additional challenge. Typically, there is no clear vision of the desired future state. The requirement may sound like we want to have a unified process across all our locations and business units. However, the stakeholders might have a very different process in mind, so it typically requires an additional time and effort from the OCM team to aggregate the input, process it, and to define the optimal solution. Step 3. Every change has different size and complexity, and to evaluate it, we conduct impact analysis. In delivery, we typically analyze what solution layers will be affected by the change. Some changes touch the front-end layer, other the logical layer. Some changes also touch the integration points and require the data or content migration. In other words, we analyze the change from the system perspective. The more and the deeper layers are affected by the change, the more complex the change request is. In OCM, we conduct an impact analysis on bigger scale, analyzing what departments, processes, user groups and systems will be affected by the change and how. In other words, we assess the change from the people, processes and technology perspective simultaneously. Step 4. We define the change strategy. In delivery, the change strategy is typically defined by the development team based on the results of the impact analysis. In other words, as a business analyst, we provide the requirements to the team, they verify it and define how it should be implemented. In OCM, the definition of the change strategy is more complicated process. To define the optimal change strategy, the OCM team will evaluate what it would take from the client to adopt the change and how ready the ecosystem is for the change in general. They would recommend specific steps to be taken to complete the transformation, like data cleanup, content migration, processes automation, and etc. Moreover, they would create the roadmap with milestones aligning all the steps in time, taking into account the dependencies, blockers, and potential risks. Step 5. Implementation and adoption. Typically, the change requests we process and delivery take from couple of hours to couple of months depending on size and complexity. We demonstrate the new system behavior to the stakeholders, get their feedback, and use it as a data input for the new change request. We also conduct the supporting and Q&A sessions to help the client during the UAT stage. As the scope and the scale of the change in OCM is way broader, the entire transformation process can take years. It will follow the roadmap, which of course can be adjusted many times, and to help the client to adopt the change, the entire supporting team will step in. Now, the final step, we measure the results of the change. To be honest, we don't pay much attention to that aspect in delivery. The product owner produces the requirements, and accordingly it is his or her responsibility to decide how to measure the results of the change. In OCM, definition of the measurement strategy is an integral part of an entire transformation process. The OCM team will define the metrics and KPIs that will allow the client to measure the results in terms of quality, efficiency, and cost effectiveness. Moreover, they will align the measurement strategy with the roadmap, defining when each metric should be measured. That's it for today. Thank you for your time and attention. Let me know in comments if it was interesting and useful to you. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit notification bell not to miss the upcoming videos. Good luck and see you soon!